Hi everybody and welcome back to Emmy Lou Books. In today's video I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So question number 1 is the best book that I have read so far in 2018, and for this one I'm going to go with Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I have really great memories of reading this book. I was actually on holiday with my best friend in Thailand when I read it, which kind of added to the magical feeling of this book. But I remember thinking at the time that I had never read anything like this before. It was just really exciting and I got through it really quickly. The characters were engaging and I just loved the whole book as a whole. So I'm gonna go with Children of Blood and Bone for my favourite book so far in 2018. Question number 2 is best sequel, and I actually have 2 answers for this. The first one is Thunderhead by Neil Schutzman. This was an absolutely fantastic sequel. I didn't love it quite as much as Scythe. For me, Scythe really had that kind of wow factor, and this didn't have it as much, but nonetheless, it was still fantastic. And the other one is One Dark Throne by Kendara Blake. I don't think I remember a time when I've enjoyed a sequel as much as I enjoyed this. The first one was good, but this one for me was absolutely fantastic, so I have to go with this one as well. Question number 3 is new release that I want to read, and for this one I'm going to go with Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Mary E. Pearson wrote the Remnant Chronicles, and if you haven't read them so far, they are fantastic. There's 3 in the series, and this series is one of my, if not my favourite fantasy series ever. I just love it so much. So when I saw that Mary E. Pearson had a new book coming out, I was really excited. So Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Question number 4 is most anticipated release, and for this one I have to go with Arch Nemesis by Marissa Meyer, which is the second book in the Renegades series. I absolutely loved Renegades. So Arch Nemesis I think comes out at the end of this year, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Question number 5 is biggest disappointment, and for this one I'm gonna have to go with The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson. This wasn't a bad book by any means, but it was just kind of a bit so-so. I really enjoyed the beginning, but towards the middle and the end of the book I just felt like the writing was a little bit simplistic. The characters weren't really well developed, and it just felt like I had read it before. There wasn't really anything new. I had really high hopes for The Extinction Trials because it had dinosaurs in it, and it says on the front The Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park, which is definitely my kind of thing. And as I said, this wasn't a bad book. I did enjoy it. I was just a little bit disappointed by it. Question number 6 is biggest surprise. For this one I'm gonna have to go with The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I know a lot of people didn't really like this book. They had problems with the main character, and I do agree that the main character is a little bit problematic, but I actually quite liked that about her. She definitely has some anger management issues, but everything is all explained in the story and it does all make sense. I just really liked this book because it was very dark. It had an almost sort of gothic-like feel to it, and I was surprised by how much I liked it because I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Question number 7 is favourite new author. So for me, my favourite new author is Neil Schutzman. Absolutely love Scythe and Thunderhead, and it's really made me want to read more of his work. So for this one, I have to go with Neil Schutzman. Question number 8 is my newest fictional crush. Struggled a little bit with this one to find an answer. I don't really experience fictional crushes as much now as I used to when I was a teenager. There are definitely characters that I like. A character that I really do like is Mirabella from the One Dark Throne series. She's really sort of twisted and a little bit evil, but at the same side she has like a sweet and sensitive side to her as well. I wouldn't say it was a crush, but definitely it's a character that I like. And then question number 9 is my newest favourite character, so I will go with Mirabella, but also actually Nova from The Renegades. She is a really, really tough and fierce character. I really, really love that about her. I definitely wouldn't want to mess with Nova on a bad day. So I will definitely, I think, go with Mirabella and Nova from The Renegades. Question number 10 is a book that made me cry, and for this one I have to go with The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. If you have read this book, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about and why this book made me cry. This book was absolutely fantastic. I don't think I've enjoyed a YA contemporary as much as this since The Hate U Give. It was really, really that good. And even though I am nowhere near in age as the main character Eden is, it didn't really matter. I still felt like I really connected with her, and something about this book, this story, really resonated with me and hit home. And it was just such a fantastic read. But yeah, definitely an emotional read. It's not a light and fluffy summer book. It is quite deep, quite emotional. There is a rape at the beginning of the book as a trigger warning if you are thinking about reading this book, just to let you know that that is in there. But if you can get past that and read the book, I would highly recommend it because it is fantastic. Question number 11, a book that made me happy. I'm gonna have to go with The Renegades for this one. It made me so happy, I think, because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I don't really typically like books and stories about superheroes, but something about this I just absolutely loved. So as I said, Arch Nemesis is my most anticipated release for 2018. This was such a good read, so I can't wait to see what happens next. Question number 12 is favourite book to movie adaptation. It's a shame that I'm doing this now and not later, because there are going to be a lot of books that are going to be turned into movies later on at the end of the year and at the beginning of 2019. But for now, I would have to say Love, Simon. The book was Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda. I actually preferred the movie to the book. I don't know why. There was just something about the movie that I just found really, really sweet and sincere. They did change a couple of minor things from the book, but I think that it made it better, and I really, really did love the movie, so I'm gonna have to go with Love, Simon. Question number 13 is favourite review that I have written so far. I don't remember all the reviews that I've written so far. I am kind of new to the whole booktube world and on Goodreads, but I think that my favourite review that I've given has to be Thunderhead. I think I gave both Scythe and Thunderhead 5 stars, and I gave them both equally amazing reviews, so I'm going to go with Thunderhead for this one. Question number 14 is the most beautiful book, and I don't know whether this means like beautiful aesthetically on the front cover or just beautiful in general, but nevertheless I'm going to go with A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is a novella, and I do agree when people say that not a lot happens in this story, but to me it is still really, really beautiful. It's set at a kind of Christmas time for them, and the way that Sarah J. Maas writes, you can just see everything around you. She describes everything really, really well, and the scenery and the characters, everything was just really, really beautifully written. So I'm gonna have to go with A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I do think the front cover is also really beautiful too. Question number 15, we are at the end. Books that I want to read by the end of the year. There are a lot. But I really, really want to read The Wayward Children. I can't remember who the author is, but I think there are 3 books in the series, and I've been told that they're not very long books. They're like 200 pages each, which is good for me. So I think I definitely want to read those over the summer. And by the end of the year, I really want to start reading more V.E. Schwab. I've got a whole series up here actually by V.E. Schwab that I haven't read, and also Vicious by V.E. Schwab I really, really want to read, and Two Dark Reigns as well, which I think will be the conclusion to the One Dark Throne series. I definitely want to read that too. I will see you again very soon for a new video, but until then, thank you for watching.